Yeah, welcome to another edition of Capital Radio Podcast Network. If you are joining us for the very first time, this is a platform that was initiated to make sure that we discuss issues as they come and make sure that uh, things are discussed properly in a civilized manner. My name is Giovanni Mofuna, and yeah, we will be talking about some of the things that have been trending on social media. But it has been quite an interesting past weekend with serious developments happening today. But uh, a very progressive uh, trends that's happening every year, and I thought it should be befitting for me to talk about uh, this great concept by the guys at Connecting Dots of Putlogwa, which they call Putlogwa influential youth. This is for 2022, and there's a list of young people up to the ages of 34, I believe, who are on the list based on various reasons. But uh, I just sat and listened and watched when people are making deliberations, and I thought I should speak my mind about the list. One can ask themselves, what gives this chap the rights to talk about what is happening in the hood? I'm not talking about what is happening in the hood in a sense of gossip or whatever, but I'm talking about real issues. I'm trying to confront real issues that are sparking interest almost every day in our communities. And why I do this thing is because I want us to talk. I want us to have a honest conversation as a community, as a society, and get to find ourselves and get to better understand ourselves and the situations and the environments that we end up finding ourselves in. But I'm going to be as open as possible. I believe for my side, but the list is it's a very great concept. It's a very great concept. If I believe correctly, uh, uh, I'm I'm one of the people that initiated those things, study list, but it was just for fun on Facebook. But we were playing with creativity and stuff like that. But it took a very serious shape, and it's generating a lot of interest, and I love that. Or it's generating a lot of interest, and yeah, uh, some people are not happy with the people who are on the list, and the reasons that I've seen is because some have their preferred candidates, and I would say this based on on the fact that I've organized similar competitions or processes that involves voting and nominations and stuff. Uh, People, that's the first point. I'm going to make a hell lot of point today. The point people, when they are given an opportunity, because I don't want to be biased, but I think I've seen an advert some time ago or calling for nominations, connecting dots. But from where I stand, I would love to believe, or the very same people who submitted last year are the same people who submitted this year, are the only people who take the initiative serious. Others, they only complain when it is the actual day or of the announcement of the list. I don't want to dwell into English and influence. What is influence, bad or good? But from a logical point of view, I don't think we or the organizers would be going for bad and good influence. Probably they're looking on the positive side of things in different sectors and stuff. But what I think need to be done as a constructive criticism to the connecting dots is that they should not only advertise once and leave the whole thing living around. With the arising of podcasts and everything with us around, we can make sure we run with this program up until next year, where people are aware throughout the process, or these are the things. Maybe we can get sponsors in, because it's a very, very big thing that if it can be placed as an event, I think it will generate a very a good interest, and it can be worked around many times. But that's point number one. Then let me go to the list itself. The list itself, it's more like I want to be blunt on this one. It's more like a repetition of last year as winners. I'm still aware of what I said in the beginning, that probably the very same people are the very same people who submitted. But there's an omission of some exchange of names there and there. The leadership of connecting dots have played with that and stuff. But I think it's a very great concept that we should consider, support. But I don't understand. I don't want to be picking names in that list, but I don't understand Maranorman folk. I don't understand why. What can let me give you for an example. I would I would understand when they say uh, Cool Jive or Taj Mahal or Kalula, they have influence towards nightlife or towards maybe the Cool Jive towards my 2000. Uh, these people have influence in their own respective ways. But there are some people who are there because I don't know, their influence is just making noise on Facebook. That's their influence. I don't want to be picking. Some of the people really deserve to be there, but we will criticize the list. No, no, Maganjan, we will criticize the list. We really believe in the concept, but some of the people don't really believe to be there. I don't know. No, I don't have age. I don't have agna kwal man. Agna kwal. Agna kwal. But I don't wanna, but there are some stories. I know you guys are going to be talking about. Just ask yourself, pick a name from that list and ask yourself, how is this guy or how is this woman influencing me in a way? Some of the things are very far from us. We don't even understand the culture of how these things are done. We need to participate in these things so that tomorrow or next year we don't come back here again and say, but the same thing is happening. I'm giving you guys a task to talk about this and to do thorough research and to make sure that I know this thing has a very good potential of making greater people, because for one, I was featured in that list, and it feels good to be in that list, to be recognized in your community or to amongst your peers. It shows or someone somewhere it's seeing something. So it needs to be dealt with rightly. It needs to be, connecting dots must be funded to make sure that the research is thorough and the processes are done in a way that will satisfy the community. But let's support them. But some of the people don't deserve to be there. It's just the reality. They don't have to be there for the why. What did they do? What did they do? One interesting thing about the list is that uh, even last year people asked. That was when we were starting the political party, SICAF. Or where is Shoban in the list? Even this year, there's still comments saying where is Shoban. I really appreciate that, and I would wish I was still a bit younger to compete in that space, but I would be allowing myself not to grow and not to face what life has to throw at me at my age right now and deal with the things that are of my age going forward. But I think I will always have a say in the list, no matter what it takes. And yeah. Uh, yeah, yeah. We've been talking the list. Malcolm is worried that the list does not entail him any more leadership. He has been listically excluded. Uh, then there's this thing, comrades. There's this thing that is emerging. This thing, I saw it coming, and people might think I'm lying, but I saw it coming, and it's happening now. It's happening now, and it's more sophisticated. It's draped. It's got swag. It's got everything. It's got that thing. It's got that thing. You'll never resist it. And that thing is that we're living in in a very difficult time, under sorts of pressures economically. We know all of us, we were hit by COVID, and no one is doing well. But uh, for forever desire of opulence, people find themselves in situations that are likely to tarnish their career, to tarnish their image for the most of the time. What I'm trying to say here, if you don't follow, is that there's this business of cosmetics, hair, travel and accommodation. There are travel agencies, all these things that has to do with beauty, lavish life and everything. And you get sold to characters. You deal with very calculating people, very calculating people who know what they want, and who know how to access it, and they know for a fact that bona, gender wise, they are deemed vulnerable. You are likely to fall into prey. But it's amazing because some of the victims, most of the victims are women, or of the new con consisters on the move. I would call them consisters on the move, because there's this thing, we trust easy. We trust easy. We think Facebook is the real world. We think everybody has our interest or has our backs, and we think every like, every smile, every cheering, it means it means it's genuine. No, some are genuine, some are not. So you must take it as a place where you come and interact with people on the terms that you prefer, and navigate the space. But if you are going to relax here, if you are going to find yourself that you are on a couch and you think everyone can make everything happen for you, whereas you don't know their situation, where they are at the moment, you are going to have a serious problem. You are going to have a serious problem. Opulence, the love for money, unnecessarily living a fake life. You want to be from here to there like nothing, but some women are working their ass off daily, 9 to 5. Others are hustling in business on a serious note without proper things, boardroom things. Others are in politics, others are in everything. People are doing their things in their way. But there's this consistence on the move. Yeah. I understand you, we trust. Give me 15,000. I'll give you a what inch Peruvian hair. The deal does not happen. We understand those things. These are bigger things. We used to do t-shirts for promotions. I think I owe Sesnabela a Capital Radio t-shirt, and the other guy from Aramajoy a Capital Radio t-shirt, and the supplier who did the thing, another guy from Komene, they fucked up the whole thing and gave me poor services and thought maybe I was dumb and would buy into those things. Those are petty things. We're talking here about people. We're talking about marketing material. Things that when Capital Radio booms, or everyone is gonna get for free everything. But they were talking about Mula. 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 You must be aware of the scam. You must be aware of women calling politely. You don't owe any woman any man. You are not their boyfriends. You are not their sisters or what. They must go hustle and do what the rest of the people are doing. Don't feel, yeah. Never do such things. Let's talk about these things. Let's see. Oh, that what's the solution? We don't. There's no solution. But that's the thing. But the one that, yeah, at least I think we can go very far. We can go very far with that one, and let's support it. Yeah, let's just do that. We just had to do that 23 minutes thing. We cut and go do some other things, and check you in another episode.